So Dawn talked about the avoidance of bias and how that is important and so on. And so there are things that you can do with AI and with analyzing your conversations that could come under the biased view, and they could still be useful. So for example, if you know that there are some issues within your company and you want to investigate further, so this would be a biased view that you could take, and you can still use the analytics platform to help you with that. A much I think more exciting, I think, from the point of not knowing what is going on before you start your analysis, is when you're wondering what other issues your customers might have. So you might be aware of some things, but what about those that you're not aware of? And we're going to look at some examples to clarify what that looks like. So if I know that there are already issues with, for example, freezing, I know maybe I picked up maybe from the customer notes, maybe some manual analysis, maybe feedback, I know that there is an issue. So what I can do, the simplest thing I can do, is I could just do keyword search over speech to text. And even this could give me like an initial view of, how many people are talking about this. Secondly, and this is what I'm going to show you in the video, is in addition to that keyword search, you can then contextualize this. So what is this freezing about? What is it related to? And then further on, you could contextualize how big is that issue relative to everything else. So if I now quickly play the video and I'm typing in freezing first, so that's my keyword. I'm looking into transcription, I could identify calls that mention freezing. I could go to the sunburst, so this is the circle that we call sunburst, and contextualize this, that this is with up. So my app is freezing, and I could see that there is negative sentiment associated to it. Now, if I go back and just one level up and see what other topics are people discussing. So there's funds and payments, obviously a lot of people discussing funds and payments, app, update details, but app stands out as a lot of negative conversations, not a lot of negative sentiment. So I could actually now select negative sentiment, and I could drill into just the reasons, like more detailed reasons of like what is going on with the app and the freezing. And this is like just one snapshot, one thing you could do, for things that already exist as a problem. So the advantages of this approach is that it's a very quick investigation into known issues. So if you already know that there's something happening, you could like within a few seconds quantify it. Also, you can confirm some of the mandatory quality assurance elements of the call process. And all we've done is we've combined keyword search with a little bit of topic classification, and we quantify this. On the downside, to do topic classification, so to classify, why are people calling on a high level, what you need to do is you need to collect a lot of data. So in AI, we talk a lot, and you probably have heard terms such as supervised and unsupervised learning. And supervised means literally you need to provide a lot of training examples. And depending on how granular you want to go, this could be 10 or 100 or even thousands of examples to say, well, this conversation is about an app and this is about payments. So therefore, the downside is that it could drive costs because you need to collect a lot of manual input. Now, there are, of course, ways to minimize that, so I won't talk about that for now. But let's look at the next view, which is the unbiased one. And here we now want to understand, could I understand anything else about the app freezing process and anything that I don't actually know about. And so what I'm going to show you is that we're going to continue our app demo, and within the app I want to see bubbles. So you could already see them here at the bottom. So I want to understand different aspects of issues with an app. And then I'm going to play the call. So I'm in the context of the app, I'm showing the bubbles, and now the biggest bubble is downloading the app. I could click on it just to see a little bit of the context, and you could read what that is about. My second bubble talks about who have a phone. Now that could be interesting. So I could now click to see what about Huawei.
Hi there, I'm trying to download the app onto my phone, but it keeps on freezing. It comes up with like a black screen, and then the app just shuts itself down.
Okay, so the app, you've got it on the phone, you can see the icon.
Yeah, I can click on it, and then it just goes to a black screen, and then it just shuts itself down completely.
Right, and what phone are you using?
A Huawei phone?
Okay. Yeah, the app unfortunately is designed to be compatible with Huawei phones, but we are finding that it currently only works with iOS and Android. Like some people are having.
So what we looked at just now is that a thing like Huawei phone might be something that comes up and it's like relevant for 2 weeks and then it goes away. So things like this are only discoverable if you have a powerful technology mining this information from your data. So what is very good about using this unbiased view and the bubbles is that it can prevent incidents before they happen. So if you know that there is already an emerging trend, so it's emerging because it hasn't actually become significant yet, but it kind of is looking up, just like at the beginning of the pandemic, as we saw, like numbers going up, but still not at the peak, but they're going up. We can see a very clear trend. So you could actually then do something to prevent, the further escalation. What's really nice is that depending on the algorithms you use and the approach you use and so on, you probably don't need any manual input. You might need or want to provide some manual input, but with unsupervised approaches, typically you don't actually need to do any of that. Now, on the negative side, you could, or maybe not negative, on the downside, because you don't need manual input, that means the machine needs to be quite powerful, so your computation resources might be a bit more costly. But technologically speaking, it's very important to have the right technology to derive the unknown unknowns, and not all platforms on the market can do this, because it is very challenging and quite expensive operation to do as well if you don't do it the right way. So another thing is, once you are getting all these really amazing insights, you don't really want the platform to sit in the corner and no one reacting to that. So you need an active process in your organizations where you need someone interpreting the output and then reacting to those issues to drive the operational action, because that is the only way you will actually gain the real benefit of using it.